don't know why I keep anyway, for the school board meeting, and then we also need to open the meeting for the public hearing, which we'll do now. So we'll also open that at 6. We'll do the public hearing first, and then we'll go back to our meeting. That works for everybody. So the Swiftwater Scholarship, we were given a $5,000 donation in order to have this scholarship for this year's seniors. Our policy states that, oh, come on, no, is everybody's mics on? Our policy states that in anything $5,000 and over, we need to have a public hearing for it. Legislation has changed that policy. We just haven't been able to update ours yet. So that's why this one needs to. It's $20,000 now in order to have a public hearing for a donation. But our policy isn't updated yet, so we're holding the public hearing for the $5,000 donation to the school. And the school will run the scholarship or decide who gets the scholarship, is my understanding, right?
Correct.
Okay, so is there any comments from the community or questions about this scholarship at all? No, you guys are good?
Just
All right.
thank whoever was
Yes.
Yeah.
That was my next bit.
donated it.
Yeah, thank you. You anonymous person. And so at this point, I will take sorry, I'm drawing a blank.
Take a motion to
Thank
close
you.
the public hearing.
Do we need to vote in the public hearing?
No, it's not. No, the public hearing is for the
Just
public,
Okay.
and then you would take it up as board business
Business,
later
okay.
in the
Thank you.
the agenda.
All right,
So I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
okay.
second.
All those in favor? Aye. So closed at 6:03. That bit's done. Back to our meeting. So then does the board have any questions about the scholarship? I'll entertain a motion to accept the scholarship of $5,000 for the Swiftwater Scholarship donation.
I'll make that motion.
Second,
I'll second.
all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? So moved. All right. And then we have an ELO student presentation about Kindness Day.
Well, we did.
We did.
And you do have it.
Okay.
It's a beautiful video that sort of encapsulates the whole day. What we didn't realize, there were 2 students in it that cannot be.
Okay.
So you have it to look at non-public, we just can't show it publicly.
Perfect.
And the student was Spencer Gentile, who was doing ELO. He did a fabulous job of putting it out to music, and he really knows, it's really high quality. And he wanted to be here to present, but he can't present. So,
It's a bummer.
anyway, he was here actually, he
Yeah.
popped in, and
Yeah,
I
I
didn't get
saw
hold of him
that.
soon enough to tell him we can't show it, so
Aw.
I apologize for that, but you guys will be able to see it in public.
Great. Well, thank you for all this hard work on that.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see it. So the manifests are going around. I think Wayne has it currently.
Yep.
Minutes. So we have we need to approve the minutes for April 10th and April 18th, non-public. Need a motion
I
to,
make a motion to approve the minutes.
second. Any questions on those minutes? Any changes, any notes? I didn't let it happen either. So I need all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? So moved. We did those as approved.
Just kidding.
Just kidding.
It's not
May
working.
is
for
the
all
That's
the-
today, we can't approve those yet.
It's not working. Yeah, I know. I just got a text.
Oh,
The
the
board
link
meeting isn't
again is not
working
working?
again.
I made sure it was exactly what you sent me.
Go to the website.
Should anybody message me?
Click on that.
I was gonna say, I have 2 now.
I'm just gonna post it on community connections that it's not working.
Kayla, are you texting? 'Cause I see that you're in that group chat.
Oh, yep.
'Cause- Okay, good. No, I realized that I had a long thing.
I didn't realize it wasn't just me.
Well, tell her to go into the website though.
Oh, okay, so look on the school website.
Sorry, I had like a 7-paragraph thing written for her, I suppose.
Sorry, school website. Quick, hopefully people will. I'm sure there's some grammatical error there. Okay. Citizens' comments. Does anybody in the audience have anything to say at this time? No? Yes?
Just a couple little things, town business that kind of relax into school stuff. We are working on an actual written MOU for particularly the use of the varsity softball field. Some things came up at the beginning of the season with the Cal Ripken League, and we worked through them with Sam Hillary. But the Cal Ripken League has asked for a written document, and nobody seemed to be able to produce one. Over really, it's like the upkeep at the beginning of the seasons to get the fields up and running. So I did ask the town administrator to work on this. So we'll be working on an actual written MOU, pretty much to spell out what we're already doing. But it'll be a little easier for everybody to know exactly what they can and can't do, or who is responsible for what. And then in addition to that, I've asked for some representatives to join some Parks and Recs meetings coming up. Sam usually attends the Parks and Recs. I don't know if he could kind of be an initial presence for the schools, but myself and the town administrator also attend, so we can represent the town to start a discussion about future use of fields and the utilization of the space up here, and as well as we have another town field downtown. But with the Jeffrey Holt money becoming available, we'd like to start looking at ways that we could potentially reconfigure some things to make it more to better utilize the space for Cal Ripken as well as varsity softball. There's field requirements every year that keep being added, varsity softball as well as Cal Ripken. So it's only a matter of time before it's not going to work sharing the same field. So the town has some land that's kind of underutilized up here. I think the school has some across the street from School Street that's kind of underutilized. So we'd like to bring all three parties together and start that discussion sooner rather than later. So
are you looking for
maybe-
more than just Sam as a rep to that committee, or?
if the
Is there, like,
school board
facilities?
would entertain that, I would say yes. Whether it's the school board rep that attends selectmen meetings, or if you would like to appoint somebody else,
We have a facilities committee, so I'm wondering if those,
Yeah.
if
that
those
could
people there.
potentially work, yeah.
Someone on there would be
Yeah.
more knowledgeable, I think.
Right. Right,
Change. Oh,
sorry, were you done?
Yeah. so
Okay,
that's-
sorry.
Am I allowed to ask a question?
Sure.
There is an MOU in place. Do you have a copy of that
For
for the
var-
fields?
So this was specific for the varsity field, and nobody
Okay.
seemed to be able to produce any written MOU.
Okay, I don't know if it's specific to that, but I do have an MOU regarding the
I
fields.
would
and-
love to see that.
I'll get
as
that
a
for you.
starting point.
Nice.
Perfect. Thank you. Anybody else? No? I don't think we've got anybody online yet. Is Mr. Phillips here tonight? I don't know, right? No? Superintendent's report.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. The report was pretty beefy. There were links to some documents that we wanted to include. I think there are a couple highlights that I'd love to give to you that now that we're wrapping up our search process for our elementary school principal, our middle high school principal, our 6 to 12 school counselor, and our behavior interventionist. I included some data in there for you to take a look at. We did attract a good number of applications. For the HES principal, we had 9 applications. Middle high school, we had 5. 6 to 12 counselor, we had 4, and behavior interventionist, we had 8. And then we invited either 3 or 4 candidates to interview. Unfortunately, in the 2 of them, one candidate did withdraw prior to the actual interview taking place. So we only interviewed 3 people. And then the school counselor, one person didn't finish submitting the paperwork. The interview was based on them completing their paperwork, and one person also withdrew. So we only interviewed technically two people. So that's correct, right, Karen? Yes. But we were really pleased with our process. We knew that the principal search windows were tight, as our candidates will testify that they were in a spin cycle for a very swift 1.5 to 2 weeks. I think the key part of the search process was the window to apply. We wanted to give at least 30 days to market, recruit, notify, and accept applications. And we were successful in all of the positions to be able to do that. I think that's why we were able to receive a number of application packages. But then the get to know you portion was what was accelerated because of the timing of the school year. And we have to be cognizant of other districts. If they're going to release somebody from a contract, we want to give them ample time to be able to do that. Otherwise, whomever we hire would then start late here. And so we had to kind of thread a needle on that. Tonight, I will be making 3 nominations. They are included in your packet you've met. With the 2 principal finalists, I'll be making a nomination for our middle high school principal next Wednesday at a special board meeting that we have. Tonight, I'll be nominating our elementary school principal, who is here in attendance and will be available to answer any questions that you have when we do get to that portion. Just as another opportunity to have a conversation with her. I'll be nominating the 6 to 12 counselor and the behavior interventionist tonight as well. So it's been busy. And we have certainly spent a lot of extra time ensuring that the candidates we're selecting are the right candidates. I spent 3 hours in Hatfield, Mass yesterday. I'll be in another district next week to do a site visit and background check on our middle high school candidate. Reference checks on the others. Everything looks superb. So we're really excited about our new hires that will be nominated to the board today. We also were approved for a grant with the Next Generation Learning Challenge. Did you include that in your report,
I
Karen?
didn't know if I was.
Did
if I was
you?
allowed.
Did you?
I did not.
Okay,
I said,
well,
Dr. Ryan.
then I'm gonna talk about
She
it.
did.
Included it in his.
Yeah, he did.
So we applied for a program called Bravely, which is under the Next Generation Learning Challenge. Next Gen Learning is it's an organization that helps schools and school districts transform some of their practices into future-ready focused learning. We recognize here that we have some opportunity within our middle school, and we thought we would apply to do some work in the middle school. Ms. Thompson and I we were selected as finalists. This is a national grant, competitive grant application process. We interviewed as one of 8 finalists the Monday of April vacation. And then on the 30th, they notified us that we were selected as one of 4 recipients. So we have an orientation coming up that we're still trying to schedule to make sure it's conducive. The team is 7 people. Ms. Thompson, myself, our incoming middle high school principal, and 4 middle school teachers. We will have a ton of information for you so that you are well aware of the work that we're going to be doing. But ideally, what we're trying to do is build some autonomy and capacity of teacher leadership at the middle school level to transform what's happening in terms of the middle school program. But it's all under the umbrella of bringing our Portrait of a Learner to practice. So now that we have our Portrait of a Learner, and there'll be some, I know that's in your report.
That is
Ms. Jones,
absolutely.
yeah. So now that we have our portrait, that we need to implement. And so this work will assist us in implementing that. They do give us funds that cover sub-pay, stipends, any meals, travel, anything like that. Does not require a match. So there is no requirement
good.
for us to contribute any money towards this program. And that's why in the report, I noted that the grant program that we had applied for with the state of New Hampshire for mental health, we were not selected to apply to the US Department of Education. And that was the one that would have required a 25% match. And so when I did participate in the webinar, they said any funds that you have currently going towards mental health clinical practice in the district would count towards that match. So we really probably are already providing that match in our current operating budget. So it would not have cost us any more money.
Why you keep looking
That's
at
good.
me?
I try to provide all 5 board members with equal time.
But he saved
I know,
mostly for that.
I know, yeah. When I read it, I was like, oh,
I know, I was bummed about that.
yeah.
So that being said, we'll continue to look for other resources. And I learned a lot yesterday on my visit for our elementary school principal candidate, and she is, I believe, a wizard, is what they described her as, in grants and
Okay.
securing revenue.
Ooh,
Yay, I like
And
that.
I believe Ms. Foster will attest to that as one of my colleagues in crime yesterday. So we'll talk more about that later. Finally, because I'll leave community of kindness for Karen, of course, but I have to give public kudos to Karen on this because she and Liz Boggio and Pollock Patel and everybody who worked on putting community kindness together, the Kindness Day. What an amazing day. It would not have happened without her effort. Certainly would not have happened without our teachers participating, our advisory teachers, students being excited for it, the community stepping up. And what I liked the most was the feedback that the community submitted in multiple ways, unsolicited. And it just promoted wanting to do this on an annual basis. It was just a great opportunity for our kids to go out and help people that they don't know and really give back to their town. And it really was all students. It was really fun to watch. Well, I think the Walmart crew was the most fun.
My
Yeah,
daughter
contest.
was there and she came home very excited, and had been excited, leading up to it, and has mentioned it a couple of times since then, so.
Yeah.
It left an impact on the kids too.
It's awesome. Yeah, and it really was all about shifting the culture, right? It's getting kids to think about how they can express kindness towards others, particularly people they don't know. And our Kindness 101 days on Tuesdays has contributed to that. There's been a shift and we have a long way to go, but we've made some headway. So we're really pleased with the outcome. And then lastly, the strategic planning process. I think we can check off that goal if you are pleased with the draft of the process. It was a goal that the board has established in September during my interim status, was to leave you with a plan to follow. So now I get to work through that plan because I'm not going anywhere. So I did want to provide you with what that draft looked like.
So the links, we don't have a digital version. So we
Or
can't
wasn't
get-
emailed to you?
I looked through my email to check, because I was like, oh, there's links, we must have
When
it.
she sent the agenda, I think it's at the top as
Is
a
it?
attachment.
I looked through all of them too,
Yeah.
I was like, I have the manifest.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Okay,
I'm gonna.
so we do.
Kayla, I didn't see it either.
Okay, and I checked too, because I wanted to look at the links, and I was like,
I know that
And I
his
wrote,
report was up
we
there.
need links.
They're there, I promise. We'll figure that out. We'll
Yeah.
make that easier for you.
Yeah, so
Um,
Maria, if you just let us know.
there,
So where,
it was with the agenda.
With the
or
agenda.
is it a link to the whole report, or just the links that Dr. Ryan sent?
The links are in the report.
Okay,
if
so
you
it is
open
the
up
whole
his
report,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she'll send an email that has agenda, just the agenda, and then the
She sends an
superintendent's report.
attachment.
So just
Okay.
open that PDF up. and
Perfect.
the links will arrive.
So I didn't look at them.
Oh, I'm sorry. So it is stamped draft, because obviously we'd like the board to reach consensus on this moving forward, because this would be a plan that we would obviously, everyone on the board would be a part of. Every one of the administrative team members would be a part of. And then you see in here that there are different stakeholders for different groups in terms of priority area team membership that encompasses schools, the SAU office, the school board, and the community. And it further defines who exactly those people are. And when I say community, I mean business owners, property owners, municipal service employees, seniors, and elected officials. All 5 members of the current school board and former school board members. So asking former board members to join us in doing this work. Mr. Belgio has already signed up as a community stakeholder in one of the priority areas. So we're excited to have his wisdom remain. Central office staff, of course, and then obviously all of our custodial technology. We really need as many stakeholders as possible to be a part of this. Each priority area team will be chaired by a member selected by whomever signs up for that team. And then the work will be outlined. We'll have a pretty comprehensive planning tool that each team chair will use to and follow on how to conduct their work for their priority area. The 4 priority areas, again, are learning and teaching, finance and facilities, culture and climate, and community relations. And so this naturally weaves, or we weave into this, the portrait of a learner. So it all comes together because we're going to create what we want to look like 3 to 5 years down the road. We really ought to use the guiding tool that we just created with the community input. So everything is integrated. So again, this is just the outline that meets and satisfies the goal that the board had set out. And so I would leave this to you, Madam Chair, to determine if this is the direction that you would like us to move in.
Does anybody have any comments or questions about it?
No, but Kayla, the link is the sentence. I just went into my email, so
Okay.
you could pop in.
Well, and I saw this stuff here, so is the link more than what we have? Okay, so then that's fine. So I think, I know originally, this is many months ago, so maybe our board feels different now, but we had talked about a more specific, so I'm assuming that's like where we'll get like more specific plan on what needs, like with facilities, that was a big piece, like we need a 10+ year plan, like what needs to happen so we can, you know, budget for it
Capital
and things are
improvement plan,
more
yeah.
properly maintained and really with each of these categories. So I'm assuming that's where this would end up. This is sort of like the people who will do that.
Yeah, so this is the outline of the process, which was what the board's goal was, right?
Right.
Now the work is to reach out, spend the summer recruiting people onto these 4 priority area teams, and then they'll do that work of, so for instance, priority area 2 is finance and facilities. So that team will focus on, that'll be one of the outcomes of their work, because they'll identify, we need a CIP because we need to understand what are all of the areas of our facilities from basically rated on safety, need, and want. And they'll build a CIP, or capital improvement plan for this as part of the strategic plan. It'll be an outcropping of priority area 2. So it's these individual 4 teams that will do that specific work to their area. So this doesn't define what the finance and facilities priority area team does. They'll define that. What this does is provides the timeline, the structure, and the reporting requirements, as well as the team membership. And so now that I get to stay, and we'll begin that work, putting the stakeholders together. Each team will begin meeting. You see the timeline through there of when the expectations are. So that by May, we're able to begin rolling it out. So
my question was more about like the people in the priority areas. Are these, will there be more people than what's listed here?
oh my gosh, yes.
Okay.
These are people I already know who are in there because the the administrative team and I worked on developing who would be a part of those from our team.
It's
And
like the SAU representative for priority two, since we're focused on that one.
Yeah.
Would the facilities director be the SAU rep?
he's someone that we would recruit. Yeah, but no, the SAU rep is Jane.
Jane.
And Jane and Justin wanted to be a part of that group. Certainly we would have the facilities director there. That's a natural.
Jane's like, I
Oh,
am.
you're there.
By
Might have been a little volunteering.
the way. So is-
You're just an.
So priority four, Patty's the rep?
She'd be representing us, yeah, for the SAU.
That was my question, yeah.
Yes.
Is those, are those the SAU representations? Okay.
Yeah, so that list will naturally grow significantly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Okay.
this was just like what everybody else did during COVID, use the starter dough.
Mhm.
This is the starter dough.
And then my only other suggestion is maybe turning this to white font in the blue areas, so it's easier to read. Just a suggestion.
No, I love creative, I take no creative pride, trust me. None whatsoever, I butcher this stuff.
That's all I had. Did anybody else have anything else? No, I think it's great. I think it's nice to see it moving forward finally, because it's been years wanting it to happen, so it's nice to have a plan in place for us to move forward with it, so I appreciate all the work that went into that, thank you.
Thanks. So we'll do the white font. Yeah, white font.
Priority one.
Priority 0, white font. And then I'll work with Mr. Therio, we'll create a special spot on the website, so it's its own
Oh, good.
page, a strategic plan page. We'll upload this, and then a lot of our work will be stored there for people to see, so it'll be very transparent.
Yeah, I was gonna say that,
People will love that.
yes, that'll be great.
Awesome, great, and that concludes my report.
Any
Thank you.
questions for Dr. Ryan? No, we're good. Thank you, Dr. Ryan. We have business administrators report. Mrs. Fortson?
Yes, you have my report, later in the.
You always do that when you have.
Right around when you're
Oh, my throat.
I've done 3 weeks of dealing with this one. So you have my report. Later in the meeting, we will be going over a bid for the lift that has died at the elementary school. And we will be going over the food service meal prices. We talked about that at the last meeting, so it's coming back to you to have a decision on that. I will bring up that since I wrote my report and as of this afternoon, I had to head over for a meeting at Town Hall regarding our summer programs and the fact that we didn't qualify for anything to have food for the summer programs. I literally 15 minutes before I had to leave, got a call from Madeline Parker at the state, who went through everything. We were going over CEP because we had talked about that. And she said, oh, by the way, Jane, you may qualify for this. She sent me the map. We qualify under a provision under it's No Kid Hungry map. Didn't know anything about that. And so it includes the elementary school, not the middle high school. So I was able to give good news over at the town, kind of made that a nice quick meeting and discussed everything else. So it was great. So I think right now, they're hoping to have 80 to 100 kids in the program. So I'll be filing the paperwork for that and, moving forward with that. So that was good news. The only other thing that I wanted to bring up, and I don't know if you want to do this at a future meeting, but I did go out to bid. We got 3 lawnmower quotes, so I do have those with the specs of what the mowers are. So especially Mark, Wayne, I thought you guys would probably want to see that because I would like to get that kind of ordered. So come the 1st of July. I can do that. Okay, so other than that, everything else will be later.
Can you talk to me and explain more about the check thing?
Yes, yeah.
So I understand it.
So we went through, did all of our training, everything. It's a really easy process. And so the final step is, all right, send us a copy of a voided check so that they can upload. It doesn't work because the security features built into our check are not jiving with this particular program that we want to do. So they're still working on it. They're trying to work it. We're like, look, I was like, I have 2 more years of check stock. It's expensive. I'm not buying it.
Right.
Like, you know,
I will not spend money.
I'm not gonna do it. Just won't do it. So they are, trying a couple workarounds
Okay.
with it, but you know, our check stock's secure and it's just too secure.
Oh, well,
Because
that's
it's,
good.
what it's doing is it's causing, the system to read more than just here's the payment and
okay.
stuff. So they're trying to find a workaround, but yeah, it's hoping we can still do it because it's a good prevention. What it basically does is when we run, say, the AP, like you see there in the manifest, we will upload the checks to the bank. If somebody were to cash a check that's not in that upload, we get notified immediately. So if someone's presenting a bad check, we'll know. The bank can't do anything until we clear it.
Oh,
So
good.
it basically
be
is an added protection,
Oh, that's
which is good to have.
Yeah.
So.
interesting. Any questions for Jane on her report?
I was just wondering about the lift, because there's also the elevator at the elementary school.
Right, so your elevator goes up to one side, and will take you up over the stairs, but on the other side, Joe, correct me if I'm wrong, 'cause
Right, on
The
the
other
south
side,
side
yeah.
where the 3rd grade is, there's a
Oh,
few
see, that's
steps
why I
up.
was like,
so
we
it
have
has
the
to be-
elevator, you just go
Right.
up, but that's.
and
Oh,
so
so
that's
it's
gonna
the
be
lift
the
on the
lift that
stairs.
travels up the
Okay.
stairs.
It's only
And the
like
one that
6
is
steps.
there no longer works.
And
And I just sent a payment, or we'll be sending out this week to the Department of Labor as we got our first. Hey, it's not working, it needs to work, so,
Mhm.
yeah, we're bringing it to you.
Okay.
Okay, and I used accounts that in next year's operating budget, we had already said when we were doing the budget, we've dropped these counts, the dollar amount, because we feel that we can do with less. And as we're coming to the end of the year and I've done my review, we won't use all of those funds, so not only is it available, but it's something we've already said, next year, we've already dropped that piece of the budget. So.
Any other questions for Jane? Thank you, Jane. Director of Personalized Learning, Wisconsin.
Thank you, Madam Chair. You have my report. You'll be getting a presentation, just a little bit, a short presentation on our final portrait of the learner work, which we had hoped to have done by May, and we met that goal. So we've got it put together and ready. There's more work to be done in terms of definitions and ICANN statements, and then the work of taking it off the wall. But I have a short presentation that I'll present just a little bit. We're planning our professional development day. There is a mistake in my report. It's not March 24th, it's May 24th.
Oh, there it is.
Just want to say that out loud.
I corrected myself in the HASP meeting. I was like, oh, it wasn't him.
My apologies for that. And let's see, Dr. Ryan spoke about Kindness Day, but it was contagious and it was a beautiful day. I think you're really gonna like the video when you do get to see it, because it just doesn't have pictures. The student interviewed students and teachers
Oh,
throughout the day,
That's
talking
cool.
about their feelings about this Kindness Day. So it was really, he captured some beautiful footage of our, particularly middle school students, but a lot of our teachers talk about why it was important to them. So I think you're gonna love the video. We're still in the throes of state testing, and we're also in the throes of many things right now, but Exhibition Day will look a little different this year. We're not gonna plan a huge school-wide one, partly because we're all a little stretched this year, and to have a school-wide event would be, to plan something that big could be tricky, but it'll look similar. So on the 30th, the students will be presenting their exhibition to their panel, but they'll be doing it in sort of a science fair type arena in the gym. But they'll still have a panel come in. We're also going to be doing our mentor recognition right afterwards as a brunch. So you'll all be invited to come join us for brunch after. And the students are starting to plan that right now. They're in the midst of it. It's sneaking up really fast, and as usual, they're getting very panicked. But it'll be fine. They always do fine, rising occasions. So
How many students are there?
there'll be 15 exhibitions.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. There might be, there's 15 students. There might be some that are doing a couple together, because like we have 2 at Applewood, so they'll probably present something together. But you're all invited to attend that morning if you can be here at 9:15 when exhibitions will start. So love to have you, and also for a brunch afterwards. we're getting ready for, like I said, PD Day and our next giraffe award, so that'll be our end of the year, our last one of the year. We're excited to do that, and we're gonna, our lunchtime that day will be a gathering to sort of come together and just talk about our portrait work, how we started the year and where we are now, break bread together a bit, and then give out our giraffe award that day, so it'll be nice. So, thank you.
Any questions for us?
I just wanted to check in. I know we had talked about, because we weren't replacing the snow day. So we were looking into ways to make sure the paras got paid. I know PD was one of the things, so I just wanted to check in to see if you guys had figured out how we were gonna make up that day with the paras.
We've not done that yet.
Okay.
It's on the list of, a
I
rather
know.
long list.
You know, one of the options is crisis prevention, intervention, verbal de-escalation presented by Mr. Fields. So
Sure.
that's in the.
Is that an
works.
all-day event?
Yeah,
Four to 6 hours.
it's about 6 hours for the physical part of CPI. So it will be the verbal piece only.
Okay.
With assistance at the end from Mrs. Donahue on the SEL, environment when you're doing it.
So it's the
So-
verbal piece of it is on the May training?
On May 24th, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, that's happening for all paras on that day.
okay.
Mrs. Wallace, as far as I know, that she's taking care of all the paras on that day. I thought your question was about making sure they get paid for the lost day.
Is that what the plan was, to have that PD day be the makeup day? Or that PD day is usually an option anyways,
Right, it should be because it
I think that's in there.
typically is a non-work day for para educators.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
We
I,
have to look into that.
we have not had that organized discussion around that just yet. But we will certainly do that. We'll have a little more breathing room next week and we'll be able to address that, make sure that we have a plan.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not gonna go a day, that's not okay.
Right.
But they'll be useful day. as well.
Right, that's what
Yes,
the
yes,
discussion, yeah. Okay, I just wanted to follow up on that, that was my.
No, I'm glad you did, thank you.
Any other questions? No? Thank you very much, Wisconsin. Principals report, Mr. Bobbio.
Thanks, Madam Chair. You have my report. There's been a couple of, one change. Unfortunately, the tiles from the company were printed incorrectly.
Oh, no.
So, and with trying to make it be a surprise, we're gonna delay it 1 week
Okay.
to the evening of May 23rd at 6:15 instead. And then the other thing, I just got a call from the photographer, Christopher Ratter at the Reformer, and he wants to come over and do some pictures of the children making Mother's Day cards. So he'll be over tomorrow and Friday, and there'll be an article in the Reformer on Monday about it. So that'll be kind of exciting.
What time did you say the tile night was?
It's gonna be the 23rd now at 6:15. We do it a little bit after ask is over to
Perfect.
manage things. So other than that, I can answer any questions.
I just had a question. Do we know how many kids are coming in from preschool to kindergarten?
So I think we have maybe 14, depends here. How many year-olds do we have? 13, I was gonna say 14. But yeah, so 13 coming in, and we have about 20 to, it's always changing here and there, so it's in the ballpark of 20 newcomers.
Registered.
Well, that's pretty good for me. I feel like everyone panics at the summertime. It's like, wait, I have to register my kids.
And I'm super excited about the bottle filling station. I'm so happy that it got.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Going.
the kids were super excited.
Yeah, I hope everybody saw the thank you cards.
Yes.
That was
Mrs.
very
Falcon
nice.
created.
So
cute.
I was gonna bring it on under communications, but yes, that was great. The card is super cute too.
And I love that the Memorial Day celebration is back. That's always, the community loves that, so. that's
So if
exciting.
anybody has any veterans in their families, you could stop by the school office and fill out a form, and we'll make a star for them if they've been involved in service.
Sweet. And thanks, back to the bottle filling. Thanks for the kids bringing it to everyone's attention
Yes.
too, which is nice.
Yeah, they were really proud.
Yeah, that was super cool. I encourage that.
I know, especially if we can actually make it.
Right, yes, yeah, that's always nice.
Hopefully they don't ask for like a pool.
Yes, yeah, no.
They already have a pool.
The town has a pool, yeah.
Now.
We're batting 1,000.
Yeah.
Any questions for Mr. Vogel? Very good, thank you, Mr. Vogel.
And just a note on the absence of the high school, middle high school report. We'll work together to put a report together. We'll send that out in a separate cover and we'll also have one for Jim.
Okay, perfect. I was gonna ask about that next, so.
Yeah.
IT Director's Report, Mr. Ferrio.
Madam Chair, you have my report. The only thing I want to update is I mentioned visual signs in middle high school. Just haven't got them done before the meeting. I mentioned they should have been.
Yeah.
I've waited to try and gather some content to actually put up there for slideshows. I just heard back from Jessica Bonnet today, and that's part of the rec program. Knows that she takes great photos of the kids. She's posted some recent ones on Facebook where people shared them anyways of our middle high school kids at tracking ball games. So I asked for permission to get it on the slideshow.
Nice,
We're back from her today. So she did do it.
great.
So we'll get that stuff out.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have that back in the hallway, for sure. Is there a plan to replace the cafeteria one?
Not at this time. It's just not something we budgeted for.
Right.
It worked well. It was usually pulled, the door was closed.
I know, the where it was,
So,
Mr. Ryan showed me where it was positioned in the cafeteria behind the cafeteria things, which seemed odd to me, but I was probably might be the only place it was able to play through foot or something, because every other wall is like concrete in there, right?
yeah, I guess that's what they designed that little spot for too. because
Yeah.
There was network connectivity and power for it, so.
Yeah, well, maybe we can figure something else out if we get it replaced, so it actually gets used. Thank you. Any questions for Mr. Therio? No? All right, thank you. We have the portrait of a learner.
Bring up a PowerPoint. I will take a few minutes, just a few minutes of time to go over, so.
While she's bringing that up, Madam Chair, could I ask that we insert non-public session earlier in the agenda only so that we have our guests be able to call it a night and not have to wait for the absolute last part of the meeting?
Can we probably do it before community reports, right? Or is all the rest of this gonna, after the presentation meeting?
That would be lovely. If we could have that after the presentation,
Okay.
then we can conduct our business
And
and
just
order the
move on,
nominations.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, because we have committee members here who want to provide some
Yeah.
information for you as well, and we have a candidate here as well.
Yeah.
I would appreciate it.
Okay,
Thank you.
perfect.
All right, Maria, you can go to the next slide. So this is our short brief slideshow of where we're at. Our portrait of a learner, the purpose of that was to really do a strategic framework outlining necessary knowledge, skills, and dispositions for our students. Our benefits, we really feel like overall, it was to prepare our students for life beyond school. And the goal for this was that we wanted our students to be able to explore greater endeavors in what we know they're going after right now. We wanted them to think beyond the four walls of Hinsdale, think outside what can only happen in Hinsdale and to look farther. So we started the work with those goals in mind. Next slide, Maria. Our timeline, this is just a brief, we started in November. The next slide actually shows a little bit better of what we did at each committee, at each meeting, so maybe this will help. When we met and we identified, our work group identified stakeholders and who wanted to be part of the process. We met in December and we talked about ways we could engage stakeholders and how to make sure that this was an inclusive process. Just like the strategic plan, the more people we get on board with this, the more buy-in we're going to have from everybody in the community. Our goal was really to hear from, to listen to our taxpayers, to listen to our community members, to listen to our parents, but to also ask them, what do they want? What do they want to see in a student as they graduate? In January, we started really digging into getting data out there and started some action planning. We created a survey in March and started pushing the surveys out to 4 focus groups: parents, teachers, students, and community members. And our last meeting, which was just last April and May, we started collecting the data, which was absolutely fascinating. I think the school board members can attest to the data was fascinating. We do have the data open to anybody, so if anybody wanted to see specifics of the data, I can certainly give you that. We want to be completely transparent with what everybody said. Some of it was beautiful, some of it was heartbreaking, most of it was eye-opening, and felt to us like it is going to align really nicely with this our strategic planning and really give us some solid input from all voices across the Hinsdale community. Next slide. These are just our committee members. Not all of them are still here, like Chief Raj and Mr. Barth. And one of the Jill Beeman is no longer on the committee, but we've pretty much finished up our committee work at this point. So this was our committee that worked hard, and I appreciate all of their work that they did throughout the school year so we could come to this point today on May 8th. So, next slide. Our work was focused in the America Succeeds work. This organization analyzed 82 million jobs postings, and they really looked at what those jobs required. In the white box, you can see 10 top skills from the durable skills wheel. The skills wheel had all the skills that these 82 million jobs decided they thought was important. We decided that might be a bit too much to ask people, so we narrowed it down to the top 10, and we asked in our survey for all stakeholders to prioritize their top 6. What did they think were the top most important traits or characteristics of a graduate of Hinsdale? So this is all steeped in research. This is not something that we just thought, these are 10 that we thought would be good. This was a really research-based process that we used. These are the focus groups. We created surveys and pushed them out. We started with the teachers at the beginning of the year. These are some of the ways that we got out to people. I will say that it was the New Hampshire Learning Initiative worked with us, and they did some really on foot, door to door, knocking on doors, going into the vape stores, asking a lot of questions, asking people to fill out these surveys. I think some of the best feedback we got was when we attended the lunch for the community at the community center with some of our senior citizens who had a lot to say. And you know, they really wanted to share what they thought was important with our students. And I think that was just, to me, that was really valuable. And so important for them to know that we were listening, and for them to be able to see now, not only are we listening, but we're taking it to the next step. We're not just taking the stuff and saying, oh, that's nice, thank you, but we're gonna put it to practice very soon. We collected information at math night, we used professional development days. If you go to the next slide, Maria, I think it tells us. So those are our stakeholder groups. We collected 81 educator surveys, 187 students participated in the survey. Parents and caregivers were 65, and community we got 46. What I think was the most interesting is how close every one of them was.
It was amazing.
It was amazing to see that all 4 groups found that character was important. The 4 that came across character, communication, critical thinking, collaboration, those showed up in all 4 groups. Minus collaboration didn't come up in the educator group, which we thought was interesting. But
It's very surprising.
It was, yeah. But this shows you, and I can share this slideshow with you also, but this shows you how close it all was across the board for us. And I think that really told us something. So the top 4 that we decided that the 4th one would be collaboration, even though educators, it didn't come in the educators one, it was high in the other areas. So those are our 4 areas. What I love is they're all C's, so that might make it a little easier. Visual. So if you go to the next slide. The next question we asked in the survey was, what is critical for, again, people graduating from Hinsdale? What is not included on the list? I think this was where we all were like, oh, what were they asking for? And these are the things they told us, what's not included on the list that we still want our students to know. life skills is what came up across the board over and over.
And a lot.
And a lot, and a lot. And it came across in ways not just about finance, but responsibility, accountability, showing up on time, you know, those soft skill pieces that came up, that we know are necessary for our students. So there was this financial piece that we know was critically important. It was amazing to us that we heard teach our kids how to, students saying, teach us how to do taxes.
Yeah, there were so many students
Yeah.
who listed taxes, like they're all really concerned with doing their taxes. I know, it must have been that it was tax season, because that really was,
Are you in my house?
yeah.
Just before they-
See, Jean could teach a class.
Well, I think the other piece that was interesting to us is we also heard a sense of fear of what's to come and how am I gonna survive in this world? Like, so that was something that showed up across the board. So life skills is a part that we'll look at next and we think we'll rename it, but we're gonna be working on that piece as the 5th component of our portrait. So there is the final portrait of a learner's skills and dispositions, character, communication, critical thinking, collaboration, and essential life skills. That's what our final work is. That's what we worked on all year. It seems really small, that little.
It's all summed up in one little slide.
If you go to the next slide, the next steps are, one of the things we talked about was, that isn't on here, is that the elementary school already has, they've created their norms, they've created their core values already, and we don't want to upset that apple cart. What we talked about was letting that be, and working on connecting the middle high school portrait with what they already have at the elementary school and bridging that gap between, if we know they're coming to us in 5th grade with those core values, how do our portrait of a learner traits connect to that, and how are we making sure that we're working together to make that happen? We just decided that in the last meeting, so that was something we weren't intending, but that came out of this. It happens different in every district, I think. Carolyn was telling us, every school, things happen differently. But that's what we decided on, and I think that's a beautiful way to look at it, that the elementary school is doing the work. The middle school will be looking to say, look what they're already doing, how is our portrait gonna build on that? And the high school will be looking over their shoulder saying, and look what's coming. So I think that's just a nice process. Our next, we have some basic definitions of what those 5 characteristics are, but we're going to be, we talked to our consultant who's working with us about what really should be next, and she felt like Bravely is really, the grant we got is really gonna help us. The exciting news that Dr. Ryan already shared, that we got the grant, they're gonna help us with next steps, and felt like they would want us to, we want our students to define those characteristics. We've got an overall definition from the America Succeeds Durable Skills Wheel, but we want our students to define those, and to put with that the I can statements. If you have character, then I can do what? And we don't want to be the ones doing that. So our work next year will be around really working in advisories, working with advisors to start having those conversations, those deep conversations with our students around what does character, communication, collaboration, critical thinking, and life skills look like and mean to them. So that's what we'll be doing. So that's our next steps. And we hope to have a visual before the end of the year. We're going to put that out as sort of a contest to our high school students to define what our portrait visual is going to look like. So that's our next steps, and that's where we're at. So thank you guys for giving us the year to do that work. I think it's critically important. Not that NEASC is the be all and end all way, but I know that that's something that they're really looking for. But more importantly, because it aligns so nicely with the work we're doing, and because I think it's just been help kids feel more belonging and part of our district.
Great. Any questions for Ms. Thompson on that?
Can I just add, thank you, Joe, for pointing out all the hard work you had already done at the elementary school, and the core values and how much buy-in you had, and kind of like showing us those are the foundation to the skills we want. So I'm very glad you pointed that out, and we did a quick pivot.
I agree. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Thanks for everybody that's been involved in it, really. All right. So at this time, we're gonna go into non-public real quick. So I need a motion to go into non-public.
Make a motion to go into non-public.
Second,
Roll call.
Yes.
So we do need the committee people, right? And.
I was like, I think.
I'll ask Mr. Bogio to remain to speak to the behavior interventionist.
Okay.
If you have questions, I'd like him to be present for it. And
Thank you, Bill.
I'll have Dr. Brebner remain as well.
Oh, here, right here. Thank you, guys.
Stay.
You should always-
Jane.
Karen's like, I'm not asking, and you're like, thank you, Karen. No.
No.
Okay.
I'll make sure that we are. Microphones are turned on.
Oh, yeah.
Don't worry, I'm not looking at it.
I got it, Wayne.
We're on the so we're reopening the meeting from the break at whatever time it is right now. 8:17. Back from non-public, and we are at the reaffirmation of our DBA, DFA, and data governance plan. So these are current policies that we have that we just need to every year reattest to. Are there any questions about those?
Can I be a staker?
Sure.
And maybe you guys know better than I do. And just on the DFA, the investment policy, I think it's the second line from the bottom. It says that the finance committee can.
Oh, wait, we no longer
We
have
don't
the
have
plan. We used to, and we can do that, yeah.
That's a
We could just go, I mean, we
Oh,
can,
I'm looking at him going, wait, something's wrong. I don't think we have one. So I went back through it and I'm like, no, there's.
so we can actually just put that as you
Business
or,
administrator.
and
Oh,
school board or something, or.
yeah, it basically says they can make the decision without the school board. I would not make
Yeah.
a decision like that you guys are unaware of.
So just take the
We
whole
can
line
say-
out.
Take the
Take
whole
the whole
line
line
out.
out,
Yep. Yep, because, it leaves it will come back to you.
Did you get that, Maria?
What page is that?
It's
One
DFA,
of DFA.
and it's the second, it's right above the board will periodically review, yeah. Above legal references and whatnot.
And just so that you do know, the auditors do look at these first two policies and say, sorry.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
So they'll be.
Otherwise it becomes a finding.
Right, yeah.
Take that out. Okay, thank you.
You got that, Maria?
You got that?
So then we can just approve this with that edit,
As amended.
as amended, thank you. That's the word I was looking for.
There we go.
Anything else on any of the other ones? Questions or anything? I need a motion to accept these, the DBA, the DFA, and the data governance plan with the amendment to the DFA.
I make a motion to approve that group.
With that amendment,
Policies with that amendment in there.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're up to food service meal prices.
Yes, so as I presented last time, we have to make an increase. We're not, would have had to be 20%, even though they maxed at 10.
Right.
So it would have been 10, but we had a carry forward, so it left it that we have 5 cents, that we would have to make the increase. I'm not gonna do 10.
So it's not so much again next year, right? That's the thought process.
So
What does that make the price then?
I think we're at 325 at the high school, 335. We are at, I think it's 275, hang on one sec, 275 at the elementary school, that'll make it 285. I would not make any increases to the rest. Which is weird, because when you do this, you're worried about the laptop.
Right,
Right.
right,
You said 10 cents, right?
yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
please.
okay, yep. Sounds good.
Not increasing breakfast is good at least.
You said that's a mandated thing, correct?
Yeah, what the state does, I mean, I kind of explained this to you, but probably. Didn't really. You actually go through a whole process and you say, okay, what is our rate? And so what we have to do is we have to take for the month of October, and we have to put in the number of paid lunches. So not all lunches sold, just paid lunches. So you put your paid lunch number in there, you put what your paid lunch price is, so in our case, we had 1,470 paid lunches at $2.75 for $4,042.50. And we had at the middle high school, 1,542 times 325, that came out to $5,011.50. So what happens is when your weighted average says, okay, that's 3,012 meals, excuse me, at $9,054. So your weighted average price is 301. What they want us to do is they said, we want you to be 325, but then they say, well, we're gonna round that down to the nearest 5. We lucked out this year because at 325, your nearest 5 is 325.
Right.
Nope, it says 320. I'm taking 320.
Uh-huh.
So then that 320, it's saying, okay, you gotta go up 19 cents. But we had the 15-cent carry forward. So it would be 4 cents, which would round to 5. So we would increase it 5 cents, then we can just do the 5 cents. But if we do the 10, it's like that much less we'd have to do. The max they will make you do a year is 10 cents.
Okay.
So you think doing the 10 cents this year means next year we could just.
The max would be 10 cents,
Okay.
because as you can see, our weighted average is still down here. Now, if we end up doing our community eligibility provision, I think the only time the weighted average is gonna come into is the middle high school next year. Because it won't apply to.
Yeah, to me.
And I will be providing information on the CEP, the next meeting. I will not be here, but I will have everything here for you. Okay.
Right, so any questions for Jane about the meal pricing?
Hopefully that's kind of clear on, this is what you do to go through the
Yeah.
worksheet. This is a state worksheet.
Do we need a motion or is this?
Yes.
Okay.
That's the next thing. I need a motion to accept to move the meal prices for the high school from 325 to 335 and for the elementary school from 275 to 285.
I make that motion.
Yeah, I second it.
Although, any more discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Me,
So moved.
really opposed tonight, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you are.
I'm grumpy today, Kendra.
So it'd be
I
a
just-
great trip away from.
Good luck, Wayne.
I just feel really bad.
I know. 10
Next
cents.
thing,
Thank you.
then fill out the forms for free and reduced lunch,
Yes, please.
please.
Yes, yep.
The
Whether you
HES,
think you qualify or not.
right, exactly. HES left is next on our agenda.
So I provided you with your Aventus quote. Sean did try to reach out to other places. It's kind of like a sole source type thing. Like,
One guy does it.
yeah. Louis reached out to Stanley. They're like, you know, like, oh,
Yeah.
okay. I didn't make him go through the effort though. But
Mhm.
yeah, I'm sorry, it's sole source.
What exactly happened to it? Is it,
Just wear and tear over the
It's very
years.
old, it has
Yeah.
a really old circuit board
Yeah.
that can't
Board
be
is-
replaced
is-
anymore.
Yeah, we paid $8,000 the last time to replace the board.
holy
I don't
smokes?
think they can get the parts right now.
Yeah.
So,
Another 8,000, I'd much rather not put another board in it anyways, even if they could get on. At a certain point, you think.
Right. Yeah,
Okay, there'll be discussion on this, right?
yep,
Yeah, okay.
yep. So we need a motion to approve the move of the money from the 2 lines indicated to the furniture and fixtures line.
You might want to maybe approve the bid first.
Oh,
and then if
okay.
the bid passes, then
Okay.
we can
Sure.
do the fund moving. Does that make sense?
Sure. All right, so we need a motion to approve the bid as written.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion on the bid? There's not much to discuss.
No, I'd like it to be lower.
It'd be nice. All those in favor?
say aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So moved. So now we need a motion about moving the money.
Whoa, let's ease up on the motion.
Well, we get to the motion, then we discuss.
Yeah, you put it
Oh,
on the
Yeah, I
floor
want
for
to discuss, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Well, we can discuss.
You
too,
can
We did
discuss
discuss
before.
before.
Either way you want to do it, it's fine.
Okay.
Because it could change the motion.
I can't even find it in
Oh,
my
sorry.
pamphlet.
It's right
I
after
saw
the
it.
quote.
I was gonna say.
Oh, I
saw
did
it
see that.
earlier.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, there it is.
It's easy to get lost in this.
So-
no, I'm like, oh, thank you.
I see you gave us a lovely thing when I was going through it, and at the end it said it was 86%, we're at 86%, right? Expenditure on all our lines on the budget, is that what that was at the back?
Yep, is that saying what's remaining?
What's remaining line items, yes, so we've expended 86% and we're sitting at like $1.933 million, 1.9.
Except that, you've got some things encumbered, and so all foreseen wages are encumbered, so we haven't expended it yet, but it's been pulled out of the money, so yes.
Correct,
Oh.
correct. And we're averaging between what, like, from what I was seeing in the manifest, between 8 and 1.1 a month, basically, in expenditures. So it's gonna get pretty close at the end.
What I have done, just to make you aware, I went through and, as I said to Dr. Ryan, went very in-depth. I have a lot of spreadsheets that support one line. So what I've done, Wayne, is, I've gone through, what have we paid so far for oil? What do we have left?
And I saw that. I
And
like
so
that.
we'll have monies left, this is just one more payment. I'm also being told, because we probably won't use all of that, because it was a warm winter, that I'm probably gonna have money coming back on that line. Same with the electric, so what I've done, these two lines that you're looking at are electric and oil. So the electric, what I did is I said, okay, we paid 10 payments, I have 2 more payments, what has been my average? And I project out and say, okay, I'm gonna need this much. And I've done that for every line in the budget, to the best of my ability, understanding this is my first year, but I'm trying to say, okay, what do I think legal's gonna be? What do I think, and like my out of district, I know, right, what it's gonna be, I have a spreadsheet.
Yeah, that one.
So those things I can tell, and I'm gonna know when someone hasn't billed me, and I'm gonna be saying, I want that bill. And we'll be doing that with a lot of stuff, but for every line, I literally went through and said, here's what I think we're left to spend. As of Friday, this week, there will be no more purchase orders being put through unless they are for graduation. FACTS, which is family and consumer science, because there's going to still continue cooking and supplies. Field day, trying to think what else,
That's all.
Joe, I gave
Field day
you
is
guys
all
like a real
PTA
short
stuff.
list.
Yeah.
So you're pretty much gonna see a freeze on stuff as of that point. So when I went through and I said, okay, here's where I'm at, here's where my revenue is at, I will have enough left. Like I said, my first year, so I'm like, excuse me, gonna get a surprise, I hope not. And that's why I went through and I said, okay, we need the lift, you know, like we've already got our first fine. I'm pretty solid that we're gonna have monies left in the electric and the oil. And we already reduced those next year, knowing that we're like, I think we're over there. So those were two of the things that, in our budget process, we reduced right up front. So that's why I chose these two lines. I'm not gonna give you a percentage, but I'm fairly good that we will have a surplus. It's not gonna be like last year's. And that we are safe to do this. However, we do have a fallback with this. You have your maintenance expendable trust. So if I get to the end of the year, I'm like, oh man, we're not gonna make it. I would be saying to you, I'm gonna ask for a public hearing. I wanna take the money from the maintenance expendable trust. But I'd like to use that as my means of last resort, because that's for, you know, say something happens like in July.
Right.
And we've already had done this and something, I'm like, I don't have the money left anymore. At least this way I know I've identified it this year and we'll use that as a backup. Same thing will happen if, for some reason, our special ed costs go beyond. I mean, we are gonna have some over expenditures, but that's okay. The other parts of the budget are kind of working that out. But again, we have the special ed expendable trust that if we need to, I can have that as
That's what
well.
it's there.
So that, exactly, and that gives me that ability to say to you guys, I'm in pretty good shape saying this. It's just hard. My first year, I'm like, what's gonna come up? I don't know about.
Right.
Right.
And I prefer to go basically like you're going with the bottom line budget. Let's not touch anything we do not have to
Yeah,
have.
That's right.
Let's utilize the overages here so
Right.
that at the end, what's left is left and we're not looking to replenish
Right.
at town meeting
Exactly.
or school meeting, replenish the money we've taken out of the expendable trust.
Exactly, and that's why one of the things I wanted to do, Wayne, was say, look, we've already told you, we think these lines here are high. I would feel funny coming to you going, yeah, we just had a budgeted extra, and we didn't do
Right.
anything about it in the coming budget. In this case, we did see this, and we have already made those changes in our upcoming budget by reducing it,
Okay,
okay?
Which account is which?
Oh, I apologize,
I wrote it down.
pretty sure you did the
The-
37.
The 15,000 is electricity
15 of the electric,
and the 37 is
15
oil.
'cause I have
the
those
56,240 is the 37,000.
It's electricity and oil, and it's going into furniture and fixtures.
It's, yeah, and equipment, that line
Right.
actually, we don't have just an equipment.
I know, I was looking,
Yeah,
I looked through all
know.
of them going, should that be somewhere else?
I did
So-
too.
Yeah.
So other question on that, so you're gonna transfer that,
Yes, I am.
okay, how I've learned to do it is to go over with an explanation on the line and utilize the bottom line. So that we can also say, if someone were to question us after we've transferred this money, and then we lower the fuel, they're like, well, you didn't lower the fuel that much. Well, we also lowered it 37,000 that we took out. So I'd much rather like to see it come out of, overshoot a line with the explanation that the bottom line is paid for rather than transferring.
And I would do that, Wayne, and we do that on a lot of items, but where it's something of this magnitude, I just feel like coming to you and saying, first of all, we've got this list.
Mhm.
Second of all, I'm identifying funds from somewhere that I know we've already in the future taken care of. Just because of the size of it, I'm more comfortable.
Mhm.
A smaller one, I'm not going to.
Right.
Like if it's under 5,000, Dr. Ryan would be signing off and I'd probably give you a list. We're just not doing, there's not any of that. And that's not worth our time, frankly.
Right.
So so anything over 50,000, usually we do. We usually do a warrant article.
They've already approved
This
it
is
in our
approved
budget,
money.
this is just moving line
Right,
item
but
money.
I'm saying because it, like, is there anything special we should be
Mm-mm.
doing? Because it's
You
such a
don't
big
have, I
chunk of
don't believe
money.
you have a policy that states that.
Okay,
I haven't seen it in your purchasing policy.
okay.
I think that's just a practice you're used to.
Right.
But,
Yeah, that just makes me, I just don't.
I mean, we
the
can't wait
town
on
would
this
be
one,
like,
I, you
right,
know,
Right.
We're
It's
gonna
a-
keep paying fines.
yeah.
Yeah, we don't wanna be wasting our money on that.
And have a career.
And then
leave,
still
we
have to be
And this is all approved money, so
Right.
technically with us, I believe that gives us, we have
Yeah.
to.
They approve the bottom line, we decide how to spend it.
Yes,
I know,
yes,
I
So it's a purview of the board and
Depends
the
on
and the
warrant,
administration, yeah,
again, be able to allow you as managers of the
Right.
funds and spend as necessary.
right,
correct.
exactly.
But Wayne, you will see this, if you look at that, there's a lot of negative.
Right, yeah.
I can see where, okay, it's over here, I know I'm making it up over here.
Yep.
Any more questions for Jane about this? So we need a motion to accept the moving of the funds from the electricity and oil into the furniture and fixtures line.
I'll make that motion.
Second,
I'll second that. Well, we're agreeing on something.
any more discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved.
Whoa.
Thanks, Jane, for all that work.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna hand this to you so that I'll remember.
Yeah, I gotta
I'll need
sign
your
it.
signature. And I'll attach your
Okay.
signature to it, so we have it. Okay.
All right. Transfer.
Bring that back to you.
Keep it for the auditors.
We're up to job descriptions. English language teacher and the English language tutor, right?
Yes, seeing speakers of other languages. You want to speak to this, Karen?
Well, this is just for the first reading.
Correct.
So our curriculum coordinator has been working to find people to fill those positions, which hasn't, I'm not sure where we're at with that right now. It's not, hasn't been.
Right.
I know in the
But
past we had
necessary,
that.
but necessary. So, we have, like I said, we have students right now that are in need of services. So we need to be able to
Is SIT like a source for those kind of people? School of International Learning?
I don't know. I don't know. if
I mean,
that
I
a
would think
resource
it
for
would be,
us.
but I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was- we've contacted them a number of times. It's still really hard to locate somebody.
Right.
We've asked Winchester about sharing a person,
Mhm.
and again, you kind of just run into issues around that. So it's a hard position to fill.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah, especially in our area, I would imagine it is, yeah. Okay.
And do we need both a tutor and teacher? Right, there were two.
We do.
Okay,
Yeah, the teacher is for the actual classroom direct instruction, and the para is to provide support when the students in other classes other than ESOL.
okay.
Any questions about these two for the first reading?
So the ESOL tutor is a para, or, because it says bachelor's degree for both.
It's not a para.
It's not.
Oh, okay. I thought that's.
Yeah, and typically you'd have someone who's a retired teacher.
Any more questions? I need a motion to accept these two as a first reading.
I'll make that motion.
A second.
Although, any more discussion we have on it? All those in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. So we'll get the final ones next month, right, for those. And then we have the Director of Academics and Career Readiness.
These are second readings.
Right. These are final readings for these two. And the Digital Learning Specialist. Any questions from the board on those? Any?
I did just want to confirm, for the Director of Academics and Career Readiness, it says collaborate extensively with school counseling staff. And it's very like staff focused, but we are gonna have Karen working with students on their career planning, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, that's, and I was looking, like, I'm just not seeing that wording for students, so I just wanted to confirm that that was still the plan.
Well, it does go into like the development of master schedule for personal.
Right, but master schedule.
Opportunities, all right.
Overseeing
So that's
school
not-
experiences, career readiness programs.
Right.
Right, none of it says working with the students, so it's all programming.
It's all implied.
So I just wanted to have it not implied. Just know that that was still the plan.
Noted.
Any more questions? Although I need a motion to accept these job descriptions for final readings.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Any more discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? So moved. Okay. Other business, we did have, just for communication purposes, thank you note from Martha Noyes about recognizing her at the March 16th town meeting for her review, which is included in the packet. Then, other business, the softball, baseball season has started up and the parking is always an issue. So, I know that we used to have a sign out in front of the elementary school that you can't park there because it's reserved for staff, for HASP, not staff. I don't know if we've been putting that sign out again, because I've seen it fold up before 6 o'clock with the baseball games and whatnot, so I'm wondering if that's getting overtaken from baseball or if those are HASP people. But we should try to leave that open for HASP parents picking up their kids. The other thing is cars parking along the rocks is a hazard because kids are running out between cars and cars coming and going aren't going to be able to see the kids. So I know in the past, we've sent a letter to the selectmen asking them to ask the police to enforce the parking. during games. At least, I know in the past, if they've done it a couple of times, people usually fall into line after that. So I don't know if the board is willing or wanting to do that again, send a letter to the selectmen. I don't know how effective it is either, so, you know,
I remember the last time we did it. It worked.
yeah. I feel like there was a point there when we asked them and then it cleared up a bit, you know, there's still some people doing it, but it wasn't as bad as it is like now,
I may have a copy.
the beginning, yeah.
It is rough with the students, but I feel like we are being so grumpy. I did have a kid and they really, it's nice out there not paying attention. I'm
Right.
like, I'll wait. But
Yeah.
if you're, you know, we have a lot of,
Till 6 o'clock, that's really kind of the hasp area for
Right.
people to pick up their kids and, you know,
well, and it's
till then,
really
so.
after 6 when there's two-way traffic
yeah,
and parking.
yeah, it
It's
gets a
like,
bit much.
I don't know that I'm gonna fit.
Yeah, so if the board is willing, we'll send a letter to the selectmen asking them to ask the police to at least enforce it a couple of times for us to try to get that word out to the people who are parking there. If that works for everybody.
We'll find out if there's a sign that we need.
There used to be one of
Touched
the, yeah, HASP used to have a sign that they put out saying reserved,
Or like a
no
sandwich board
parking.
sign that
Yeah,
goes up?
yeah, something like that. There used
Well,
to
we
be
also
one.
put cones out.
Yeah,
As soon as
that
the
too.
buses left, I would put the cones out.
yeah, that's a good idea.
So I can just ask them for the cones, because the signage, we've been putting it out. and
Yeah,
people-
okay.
It's
Well,
only
once
on,
someone parks in
it's only on
front
a
of it.
little cone.
Yeah.
So they kind of
Everybody sees it.
Right.
don't pay
Nobody's paying
attention to it.
attention to it. Yeah, I think.
So
the
I think
cones are
the cones are probably the best bet.
okay, yeah, whatever, I mean, whatever we can do
Mm-hmm.
would be good, I think. It's, I'm more concerned about the kids' safeties
right.
coming in and out of that area and stuff during baseball games, so.
We know a couple guys on the highway department. What
Yeah.
about no parking this side of street on the field side?
I mean, there's a sign there,
I'll see what
people
we
park
got.
right in front of it.
Right?
There's no
I'll see
parking
it when I
between
have
signs.
Yeah.
signs hanging up on the wall.
Yeah,
Everyone just. parks
I
right
almost
through.
wonder if we can't move the rock closer to the, so there's no way to park
You
there.
got your buses on?
But
Ah,
that's just another suggestion.
Yeah.
But
That
then
is bad for
plowing,
plowing.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
You hit one of those gems.
We just move them back.
Oh, yeah, just move
That's
back.
what I do.
Anyway.
I have a couple things too. Is there any way we can get a email sent out to the coaches that they need to clean up after the fields?
Yeah.
Today I picked up 8 water bottles, a batting helmet, I won't tell you the other thing I picked up, but, and also I picked up 2 sweatshirts.
That's the
And,
collection.
yeah.
Right?
Are these school activities or?
I don't
these-
know, I don't know.
It could be
Yeah,
Cal, it could be Cal Ripken too. I
Right.
could contact.
it could, yeah, if somebody could just, it's just, and if you go in the dugout, I'm not kidding you, when I drove by with a 0 turn, there's probably 16 water bottles underneath the bench in there.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, coaches should be making our teams
Well, I
think
was
about
Yeah.
gonna say,
themselves, but
and
that's,
really, the kids
Yeah.
need to be.
It just makes it hard getting back on off the mower just to pick
Pick
up
up a
the
bottle.
Yeah.
guns. Thank you.
And that goes with our school pride. Take care of our.
right?
Right.
So going back to the asking the selectmen, do we need to make an official vote on that? Or is it just a consensus to let David send a letter?
Then if we already, hopefully we already have the same letter. I'd be happy.
We have one, yeah.
Well, I mean, it's
We'll
literally just
update it.
asking to follow the
Right,
rules.
right.
That's all. It's not real, we're not making
Yeah.
anything new. So I
Right.
think it's just.
Yeah.
Enforce what's already
Right.
in place.
Great.
That seems like his job.
And you'll talk
That sounds
to,
right.
Mr. Boga, you'll talk to them about putting the cone down. on
Yeah,
that?
yeah, we'll take care of the cones, get
Okay.
them out tomorrow.
Thanks. Is there any other business? Oh, I did have one, we're not there yet. Never mind. Sorry, jumping ahead. Any other business? Anybody have anything? No? Moving on. Good.
No,
No?
I'll bring it up at committees.
That was my thing too. I was like, oh, it's a
I was-
committee thing.
That
I
was
was
intense.
looking to see, and I saw it on there, the policy committee, so I'll bring it up then.
I wonder
So
what that's for.
I wonder.
Oh, you know.
Yes, I do.
Staff. Yes, that's my next question is that do we need any of the current stuff that's available for any of the committees? Does anybody need them? I don't.
What was the question? Sorry.
Do you need anybody to stay for committee
Oh,
reports?
no.
No, so then, Karen, Justin and Mr. Bogio can vacate if they like, or stay, either way.
We want you to stay,
Anything
Donna.
This year? for you guys?
Don't leave us.
I know,
Donna.
that is, it is one of the late,
Good.
one of my first late ones.
Did you have pizza? Did you have dinner? Oh, so
It's good.
That was good. wasn't it?
One out of all.
She's not leaving her jacket, so.
No, I'm pretty glad.
I know. Thank you, guys.
Good night, thank you. Thank you,
Bye.
Mr. Bogo.
All right, so committee reports, we'll start with behavior support team.
We are not meeting, I don't think, until we have new principals. I think, isn't that what Joe said?
Meeting on principles.
Work will continue with new administration.
Budget committee there's not much going on right now. We'll send the latest report to them. And, I haven't heard from them about a next meeting, so I have no idea.
But we are sending them monthly.
Yeah,
our monthly
I
stuff.
didn't send them the last one we got, but I'll send them this one. I haven't gotten anything from the town from budget either, so I don't know what the town is sending, if they've sent it or not, but I haven't heard anything since March from the budget committee.
Okay.
Facilities and maintenance.
Community.
Oh, community connections. Yep, we're getting word out. I feel like I'm posting a lot.
I know,
Good.
and
So,
Maria's
yeah.
been sending
Yeah.
stuff, so that's good.
Yeah, I'm trying not to post it all at once. Some nights it's like 11 o'clock and I'm like 2 or 3 different
Right, it's
things
like,
I'm
well,
getting
we'll
out.
get it out there. Once it's out there, we'll
That's
put it
okay.
Yeah, you're up late.
I've
by the
sat,
way.
yes, I
Yeah, I
am.
get late
She
texts.
always
I'm a night owl. So that's been great. I love that we're getting stuff out there. So facilities and maintenance.
It's been getting delayed because we've been having trouble getting
Get the quorum.
quorum.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
no.
think we're scheduled for next, Fred? Does that sound right?
Next Thursday or Friday, the 17th, I think it is, but I can't remember.
15th is
Yeah.
Wednesday, so.
And like I
That's
said
Friday.
before that, I can't
That's
make
why
those
I-
until the
that's why-
18th, till after the
Yep.
18th.
And,
Okay,
and Wayne
okay.
has let us know.
I do wanna
He'll
go.
be there.
Okay, perfect.
All right, so more to come from that.
Yeah, it's pretty much Sean, me and Wayne, so.
Yeah.
Cool.
Mhm.
Advisor.
All right, so HASP advisory board. Kendra?
HASP, they discussed I don't know how you pronounce it, I think she said GERPA, but it's the Government Performance and Results Act. Had their evaluation, I guess, and they decided that they need moderate improvement, which is a step up from last year, which, what did they say they had?
Significant.
Significant.
Mhm. But once we looked at the measures, it's not really.
Yeah,
things
it's not that
can be
much.
Controlled, so it's like
the ele-
attendance and.
Yep.
Oh.
The elementary school showed a lack of academic growth a little bit.
But they did go up in.
Middle school had the proficiency level growth, and then middle school's also having trouble. They got docked for attendance, which really isn't HASP's problem because if the kids don't show, the kids don't show. Their performance reports, they need completed by June 1st.
Yep.
You guys already announced that the summer program, the lunches will be funded, which is a really great thing for them. HASP will be running through July 8th through August 9th, while summer camp will be going from July 1st to August 16th. And we tried to bully Joe into coming back as chair next year. I think he took it.
Well, I don't know if he
And
agreed to chair,
he-
but he was kind of like, fine, I'll maybe be at the September.
I think he was excited. I think he took it. And then we just talked about meeting every other month moving forward, which we kind of do now. I guess we do now. But
Okay.
continuing it. And that's it.
All right, legislation, everything's crossed over, so hearings are happening. For both of them, I don't think there's been a whole lot of movement on anything yet, so,
School related.
yeah. So I'll give you more information once I have that. Personnel committee, we talked at our last meeting about having the personnel committee review the employee manuals instead of the policy committee, because I know the policy committee can have a ton of work to do. So I just need approval from the board that the personnel committee reviews those manuals, so that can get done.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second,
Zach, yeah.
Any questions about that at all or anything?
as long as it's getting done.
Yeah, right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So moved. So we'll get started on that at our next meeting. And we put forth the two,
Job description.
thank you, job
Perfect.
descriptions today, so that part is done. Where am I?
For me,
Policy.
policy committee, which we haven't met, but Maria, do we have like a schedule set? Do we have a meeting set? Who is on the policy committee?
It was Holly and,
I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Certainly.
yeah, I don't know who, I think Holly might have been chair, so maybe that's why there's
It
not
was
been a
the
meeting
two
set.
principals
Yeah,
And the superintendent.
Holly,
Yeah.
right?
Well, that might be why then.
Yeah.
Down.
Yeah.
We got this.
We got this.
So we'll get
Because it
something
looks like,
set up.
because there is a school dress code policy that's,
A problem.
yes, it's being
It's been in
developed
the works.
or
though, right?
redeveloped, yes, with
Yeah.
the student officers. We just need to check back with Ms. Diorio to see where that is. We should probably set a schedule on when we should meet and the work that we're gonna do. And
Yes.
I have a couple ideas around that.
'Cause
I
there's
as
a lot of-
well.
There's a lot of
Awesome.
policies
I-
that haven't been looked at that need to be.
Yeah, wellness will need
Yeah.
to be looked at. We need to get that approved.
Mhm.
And then there are policies that are up to be edited based on the spring recommendations coming out of the Hampshire School Boards
Mhm.
Association. So those will take precedent, particularly those that are required. So we'll list those. We'll bang them all out.
Okay.
Are we gonna have another non-public after?
Yeah.
Okay.
Portrait of learner,
So.
looks like you guys have been doing great work.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Good job.
Thank you.
Good job,
Thank
really,
you.
good job.
Yeah, we.
Went by
are-
so fast.
I know, Kendra's hard work. Yeah, I mean, you guys kind of
I
saw
know.
where we landed,
Oh, my God.
and I think the work to still be done is like, you know.
I'm very
it's really
excited to see
just
it.
Getting started, but I'm excited to see where it goes and see what the kids come up with. And I am really so happy Joe spoke up and said something, because this whole time I've been, no, we gotta be K-12, K-12. And he's like, but the core values that I've been, he basically did Portrait of a Learner just kind of on his
The
own
elementary
and getting the buy-in for those core values and establishing all of that. It was like, oh yeah, oops. I was ready to spearhead right through that. So I'm glad he spoke up, and they really merged beautifully together. So which
They're,
was a
they're pretty
happy-
much exactly the same.
It's just on
except
different
just-
levels.
Yeah,
Right.
which is
better
really
understanding for
appropriate.
the elementary school.
right. And I think hopefully there will be a core value sort of visual representation that can go with the Portrait of a Learner visual, and so they'll be similar but not the same, just like the values. And I'm very excited about the work to come.
Thanks. Select board.
Yes, we met, yesterday, no, 2 days ago, Monday.
What day?
We met, we were at the transfer station, it was a walkthrough for the, new startup coming July 1st for the curbside pickup being, eliminated, new scale. And 1810, we and 610, sorry guys. We went back to the town hall and continued the meeting. New tax collector hours, they were talking about that, some appointments for Jess Green. June 15th was announced that it was auction for town seized properties and town land. And the meeting went to non-public at 18:45. I also had the privilege to attend a department head meeting, and they are pushing the department heads to have their first stage of their budgets on the selectmen's desk the first week of September.
Good.
Yeah,
They're not gonna push for ours, then are they?
We're
We
gonna
can't.
be on it,
We
don't worry.
can't, we don't,
We're gonna
we just
be
start
on
in
it.
September.
I know, it's like the school year.
School just starts.
Um,
We don't work through the summer like that.
didn't we already do a new, I remember approving a new scale like 2 years ago.
Yeah, it's in.
Yeah, it's
That's all.
finally.
Oh, okay,
Everything's
so
in.
it's just.
That was the whole one. Yep, sorry, I
So-
missed the initial part.
So Charlie says, oh, they're putting a new, I was like, no, we approved, I got all hostile, so. He was right. Okay, so that was just put in.
Well,
Great.
don't you have a lot of notes for that meeting? You did a
Yeah.
good
I
job.
was welcomed with
You
open
are
arms.
hired.
Good job. Yes, very good job.
Seems like maybe you were better than the previous board member. who was
I don't
there.
know, she seems to be a nice
Don't
lady.
need to look in the rear view.
We set the
Yeah.
bar kind of low for you, you're welcome.
Wow.
Oh, you were there too, okay.
I don't know.
No, not really.
She had big shoes to fill. Let's be honest, she had big shoes to fill. I mean,
Right, well, we failed
Sean went
that,
to every.
and I
every
went to
meeting.
none.
All right, guys, staff development.
Staff development.
So we are still waiting,
Oh, that's
that's in the works.
Okay, good.
Tuition
We haven't missed it.
exploratory. Do we have do you guys have a meeting
We
set up?
have one set up, yes, next Wednesday.
I did see that.
Yep,
what
next
time is that?
Wednesday at 5 o'clock, which means the special meeting is at 6.
Okay.
That's on the
Okay.
15th?
It is.
Next
Oh, I don't have that in.
Wednesday,
One
special
week
meeting.
I
from
didn't
today.
either, I just took a screenshot of it and didn't put it in my calendar.
Special.
Wait a minute. We
Okay,
have-
so we have 3, or I have 3:30.
And what time did you say it was?
5 p.m.
5
And then
for the
6.
tuition.
Okay,
5 p.m.
so wellness.
And then special meeting at 6 o'clock for the
Okay.
board.
Special.
Man.
My
So there'll
Wednesday
be
just
more
got
at
filled
June's meetings about that, I assume.
Yes, ma'am.
Wellness, Kayla.
So we meet Wednesday also, next Wednesday at 3:30.
Yep.
Oh, I have that one in there, that's the only one that.
Our last meeting, we did move forward the wellness policy to go towards the policy committee. So that's its next step. We also had it come up, Joe kind of brought it up. We have a few policies that deal with when a student's allowed to attend school based on health reasons, communicable diseases. He asked if we could bring that up. There are 3 relative policies. We are going to just take a look at those. It seemed like one dropped off a couple years ago, so we're just trying to figure that out. But we want to kind of take a look, especially in like, I mean, we've had the COVID. So we want to take a look and just update and make sure we're still in a good place with what we have in place. If we do make changes, that will move forward. And as part of the wellness policy, we added in that we would present a report each year to the superintendent, kind of on we have a checklist, and we would do our checklist together, and we will submit a report to Dr. Ryan. Here's what we have done that addresses these different items. That's the state checklist that we feel we've done to address it. So it's going to be a year-end thing, so we'll probably go through. We've already done most of the work on that. It was amazing, actually. I learned so much. But I just want to refine it, and we'll put the report together for Dr. Ryan. So that'll be probably the last, it will be the last meeting. No, so
For
that's
this year
the last
anyway.
one of the year. Yeah, that'll be our 4th and final meeting.
All right.
Yeah, Jane's done a lot of work on that committee, so thank you so much for all your digging around and finding.
And that brings us to citizens' comments. Any citizen in the audience have any comments? All right, thanks for hanging out for the whole thing, even in the hallway.
I know.
There's no one online that came back on, so. So we need a motion to go into non-public.
I don't have anything for non-public, Madam Chair.
Nope.
Do you have items?
I'm assuming because you asked, that you
Yeah,
have
I mean, I
something.
have like a little something
Yeah.
that I feel like is probably non-public.
Okay,
What would it go into?
I think reputation, but it's like student related, so
Yeah, we
I
just
don't know
want
if that's.
to make
really
sure it's in the
reputation.
record so that we're in compliance.
Yeah.
So, that's all.
Student related, I don't know what letter that is.
oh, before we go into non-public, do we want to state what we did in non-public before about the voting? Whatever you had said in non-public, that's what I would like to go right here. That wording,
So I'll tell you what my recollection was.
yes, please.
So I recollect recommending that the board make the motion to approve the nominations of the superintendent.
Yes.
And I would add to permit the superintendent to negotiate the contracts with those nominees based on conversation.
Yes.
So Maria, you got.
And then listing that it was for the HES principal position, the behavioral interventionist and the
Guys,
guidance school counselor. Now we can entertain a motion to go.
And
into
I would like to
non-public.
congratulate Dr. Molly Bremner for her nomination.
Yes.
We'll have the conversation over the next few days.
So a motion to go into non-public,
I'll make that motion.
second? Somebody second?
Oh, second, yeah,
Not everybody at once.
yeah.
Not everyone. Oh,
I heard you
roll
say
call,
something.
yes.
Yes.
Okay, so we can do non-public as soon as these guys vacate.
I was absolutely right. I said 9:00.
Thanks for hanging out. the
Thank
whole
you.
time.
Thank you.
It's always nice to have members in the audience.
I know, it wasn't just.
Right, yeah. Thank you.
While you're there.
Shut the door. Thanks, Kendra.
No, I thought that's what she was saying.
Consolidation